Okay, so you want to be a technical writer, huh? Well, get ready to dive deep because today we're exploring the wild world of technical writing advice.
That's right. We're going to help you figure out what it really takes to succeed.
Because let's be honest, there's a ton of information out there. Some of it's good. Um,
Some of it's not so good.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise, and it
Right.
can be really hard to separate the solid advice from the kind of like get rich quick schemes.
Yeah, let's become a millionaire technical writer overnight kind of things.
Exactly. So, to help us navigate this tricky terrain, we're going to be dissecting a really insightful article by Curt Robbins, a technical writer who's been in the trenches for decades.
He's seen it all, and he's not afraid to call out the BS.
Exactly. And his article is all about vetting technical writing resources. So, basically, how to tell the good advice from the bad.
Which is so important because you don't want to waste your time on stuff that's not going to get you anywhere.
Exactly. So, Robbins gets right to the point in his article. He says, don't believe the hype.
And he's talking about those promises you see everywhere, like learn technical writing in 30 days or become a six-figure technical writer with no experience.
Right. Like those YouTube videos that are like, get started in 30 days.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, is that even realistic?
Right. And Robbins calls them out on it. He's like, look, this is a real profession. It takes time and effort to develop the skills and experience you need to succeed.
And it's not just about learning some software or memorizing a bunch of rules. You got to be able to think critically, solve problems, and communicate clearly.
Totally. You have to really understand your audience and be able to tailor your writing to their needs.
Exactly. It's not as easy as some people make it sound.
No, it's not. But Robbins does offer some really practical advice on how to find credible resources and mentors.
And one of his most interesting points is about using social media, specifically LinkedIn and X.
Right. Who knew social media could be your secret weapon in the fight against bad technical writing advice?
Right. But it makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah,
Because in 2024, everyone and their dog has a LinkedIn profile, right?
pretty much. It's like the new business card.
Exactly. So if someone's trying to sell themselves as a technical writing expert, but they don't even have a LinkedIn profile, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah, it's like, are you even a real person?
All right. Like, what are you hiding?
Exactly. And it's not just about having a profile, it's about what that profile says about you.
Right.
What kind of content are you sharing? Are you connected with other professionals in the field? Are you engaging in conversations?
Exactly. You can tell a lot about someone's expertise and professionalism just by taking a quick scroll through their LinkedIn profile.
Okay, so we've established that social media can be a valuable tool for vetting potential resources and mentors. But what else should you be looking for? Well, according to Robbins, experience trumps everything.
Yeah, and he's speaking from experience. This guy's been writing professionally for decades.
I know. He's worked on everything from user manuals to white papers to technical documentation for some of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah, like FedEx, Microsoft, Northrop Grumman. I mean, that's a client list that speaks for itself.
Right. It's like he's saying, I've walked the walk and talked the talk. I've been there, done that, and I've got the battle scars to prove it.
And that's what makes his advice so valuable. He's not just some talking head who's read a few books on technical writing. He's actually done the work, and he knows what it takes to succeed.
And it's not just about the quantity of experience, right? Like just because someone's been a technical writer for 20 years doesn't necessarily mean they're good at it.
Exactly. You got to look at the quality of that experience, too. What kind of projects have they worked on? What industries have they written for?
Right. And Robbins actually gets into this in his article. He talks about the difference between generalist technical writers and specialist technical writers.
Which I think is a really important distinction.
Yeah. So a generalist technical writer is someone who's comfortable working across a wide range of industries and document types.
Right. They're kind of like a jack of all trades.
Exactly. Whereas a specialist technical writer is someone who focuses on a particular niche.
Like software documentation or medical writing or something like that.
Exactly. And both paths are totally valid. There's no right or wrong answer.
Right. Just depends on your interests and your goals.
Yeah. Like maybe you're really passionate about a particular industry like healthcare or technology. Or maybe you're really good at explaining complex technical concepts in a way that anyone can understand.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to vet your resources and mentors, because you want to make sure that their expertise aligns with your specific goals.
Right. Like if you're interested in becoming a medical writer, you probably don't want to get advice from someone who's spent their entire career writing software manual.
Exactly. You want to find someone who's been there,
Yeah.
done that, and knows the ropes.
So how can you, as someone just starting out, tell if a resource or a potential mentor is the real deal?
Well, Robbins gives us some pretty solid clues to look for.
Okay.
Lay it on me. First and foremost, he says you should look for someone with a strong job history.
Okay, that makes sense.
And ideally, they should have experience working at well-known companies.
Right. Because those companies have already done a level of vetting themselves.
Exactly. They're not going to hire just anyone to handle their technical documentation.
Yeah.
So if someone's worked at a company like Microsoft or Google or Apple, that's a pretty good indication that they know what they're doing.
Right. It's like a stamp of approval.
Exactly. And it's not just about big-name companies either. You can also look for people who have worked on projects that are similar to what you're interested in doing.
Okay, so let's say I'm interested in writing about artificial intelligence.
Right. So you could look for technical writers who have experience working on AI projects. Maybe they've written documentation for AI software, or they've written articles or blog posts about AI.
Got it. So basically, I'm looking for someone who's already doing what I want to do.
Exactly. And remember how Robbins strategically name-dropped his own impressive client list?
Oh, yeah. Like FedEx and Microsoft.
Right. He wasn't just bragging.
Well, he kind of was.
Okay, maybe a little. But he was also building trust with his audience. He was saying, look, I've worked with some of the biggest and best companies in the world, so you know I'm not full of it.
Right. He's got the receipts.
Exactly. And that's something you could do too. When you're networking with people or applying for jobs, make sure you highlight your experience with well-known companies or on high-profile projects.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of experience and we've talked about how to find resources and mentors with relevant experience. But what about the actual content of the advice itself? How can you tell if the advice you're getting is actually good advice?
That's a great question. And it's something that Robbins touches on in his article. He says that you should be wary of advice that sounds too good to be true.
Okay, so like those get-rich-quick schemes we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. If someone's promising you that you'll be making six figures within a year of becoming a technical writer, that's probably not realistic.
Right, there's no magic bullet.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
Technical writing is a real profession, and it takes time and effort to develop the skills and experience you need to succeed. So don't believe the hype.
It's like he's saying, yeah, be cautious about who you're learning from, but also like take a look in the mirror, you know?
Oh, I like that. It's like he's subtly saying, hey, while you're busy vetting everyone else, don't forget to vet yourself.
Right, because in 2024, your online presence is your first impression. Like long before you shake someone's hand or step into an interview, they're checking you out online.
Exactly. And they're looking at your LinkedIn profile.
They are. That's your digital storefront.
It is. And it's not just about listing your skills and experience. It's about showcasing your passion for technical writing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, are you writing articles? Are you sharing interesting content? Are you connecting with other people in the industry?
Exactly. You want your LinkedIn profile to scream, I am a technical writing rock star.
I love that. A technical writing rock star. I'm using that.
Do it. But seriously, Robbins is basically handing you the keys to a super powerful self-marketing tool
Right.
and saying, go make something amazing.
So to sum up this deep dive into Curt Robbins' wisdom, remember becoming a successful technical writer. It's about being a smart consumer of information. Don't just buy into the hype. Take the time to figure out what's legit and what's BS.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to use social media to your advantage.
Yeah,
Connect with people, share your work, get your name out there.
exactly. And most importantly, remember that building a successful technical writing career, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
So pace yourself, stay curious, and never stop learning.
And on that note, that's a wrap on this deep dive into the world of technical writing. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and found it helpful.
And remember, keep writing, keep learning, and keep rocking those technical writing skills.
Until next time.